Alright, so today we're going to be talking about one of the lesser talked about heroes, and that is Pig God. And I really wanted to make this one because recently, back in chapter 123, we got randomly a whole bunch of exposition on this guy, finally, giving us some insight into what's really going on with him and his abilities. But then that chapter was revised, and in the revision, that whole expositional pages and panels were just removed. So I'm not sure if that's going to come back at a later point. I certainly hope it does, but that just means that anyone who is currently reading that chapter or anyone who's going to read it once it is released in its volume will not know about these intricate details about Pig God. So I want to put that out there in this video and just go a little more into him. So before we go into the abilities and all of that new stuff, let's just establish him as a character first of all. So he is the S-Class rank 10 hero. And apparently the Hero Association coined his name because he reminded them of a vindictive god. Because, some legends and lore or just history in general have them eating humans and just mass amount qualities of food or whatever. But yeah, and him being, mass eating like a pig kind of does, you get Pig God. So pretty cool name in my opinion. Now also apparently this guy is a legend in the obese community. And that's kind of cool. Everybody has their own mascot, and all of the heroes kind of target their own individual demographics, so they've got that going for them. And he allegedly consumes the portions of 100 people in a day. Now, is that 100% true? I'm not sure. Maybe. I mean, we always see him eating in the series. And when he's not eating, he's fighting, but in the fight, he's gonna try to eat his opponent anyway. So maybe the massive amounts of calories that the monsters have that he eats, maybe that makes up for the 100 people's portion. But finally, we kind of have some insight into why he eats so much and why he constantly has to do so. And I'll go more into that once we get more into his abilities. So Pig God is a pretty unique hero because his method of attack is literally trying to eat you. That is all he does. He kind of just walks you down, tries to close quarters as quickly as possible, and then grab you and then just literally consume you whole. He doesn't even really chew. He just eats you and then digests you. It's pretty scary on the end of the monsters going against this guy, but it just goes into how all of the S-Class heroes are pretty unique, but Pig God is one of the more unique ones. So when he is fighting the monsters, it doesn't really appear that it matters if they're bigger than him because, like I was saying, he tries to eat them whole. In the case of him going against the Great Food Tub, who let me also put out there as a friggin' demon level monster, Pig God just straight up still eats him whole despite the Great Food Tub being bigger than him. His entire body stretches to accommodate for the size difference, like a snake or something, and then he just consumes him and then digests him. The way that he looks is just so weird and funny. But also that goes into how fast he can digest just food in general, but monsters as well. Because the time between him eating the Great Food Tub and going against Gums doesn't seem to be too long. So I guess he digested the massive Great Food Tub in a couple minutes, definitely less than an hour. So his crazy fast digestion and metabolism, which definitely surpasses that of even Luffy's, I think is showing us why he has to keep eating so much food consistently, like what we said, 100 people's portions in a day. And that's because if he doesn't, then he'll just rapidly lose weight. He constantly has to stay in a caloric surplus. We've actually seen something similar of this in a similar character in Food Battler, because when Food Battler wasn't getting enough calories, he just started rapidly losing weight. So I suppose that the same thing probably happens to Pig God. So you're saying, well, why does Pig God need to stay as massively obese as he is? Well, that's where we're going to come into his abilities, because his fat is what makes him so incredibly powerful outside of just his crazy metabolism and digestion factor. So the thick layer of fat that he has is capable of absorbing all types of impacts, firearms, blades, they're just ineffective against him. We even saw that the dragon level cadre Gums wasn't too effective in chewing on him. I mean, he could break his skin, but that's as far as he can really go. But that brings us to the next ability that comes with this fat, and that is straight up regeneration. Yeah, Pig God can regenerate from the immense energy stored in his fat, and it's almost immediately. So Pig God, like once we break him down, he's actually pretty darn powerful. Like the eating, and then the tanking, and then the healing. I mean, that's pretty good package right there. And on top of that, I'm pretty sure that he has superhuman levels of strength too. Because first of all, he was able to easily bust through that wall to go save Child Emperor from eyesight. But also, he went toe-to-toe, like pro wrestling style, with, Gums, who we established his dragon levels. So I guess that right there proves it. Also, like, he muscled out of Gums' mouth. So yeah. And now one more little fun fact about him. Apparently he's developed like immunity to like venom and poison, and I guess foodborne illness as well, because by consuming like all of the monsters and the different types of foods and animals and plants and stuff throughout his life, he's just developed an immunity to all that stuff. So that's pretty cool, I guess. It just adds to his pretty good power overall. And yeah, he is. So that's going to show you that he's S-Class for a reason. He's pretty significant and has some insane abilities that aren't typical to humans. I mean, he's definitely an outlier. Like, I always go back to what we see Dr. Genus looking at on his computer screen in Season 1. He looks at Pig God, Watchdog Man, Darkshine, and Metal Bat. And there's a reason, because these are like the outliers, or some of the outliers from the S-Class. Like, they are different from other people. Like, they're kind of like freaks of nature. So this just further proves that Pig God is one of them for sure. So that's pretty much it for him for now. In the manga, that is. We can go a little deeper into Pig God, but I'm going to have to go into webcomic spoilers. So if you don't want to know what's going to happen in the story, I suggest you check out now. So unfortunately, Pig God never really gets his big comeuppance in the Monster Association War. As far as we know, he is defeated by Gums, and he never goes on to like get revenge against him or anything, or ever really get another big win outside of the Great Food Tub. But that doesn't mean that he's useless. He does do some significant things, and it gives us more insight into him as a character. Like, he's a pretty good guy. Like, he goes out of his way to save multiple of the heroes, like such as Atomic Samurai's disciples, in throughout the war and stuff like that. And he's also willing to just straight up give his life to save the world with like his secret ability, which we'll talk about. But outside of that, Pig God, I like I've been saying, I still think that his time has yet to come, and it more so falls into that secret ability that I was talking about. So let's just talk about that real quick. So, during the Monster Association War, when things are looking really bad, Pig God infers that he has some kind of like god-busting thing, like something that could take care of Shibawa's prophecy, which is, allegedly going to be its national level god. Now, I made an entire video dedicated to this subject, breaking it down, what it could be, so please check out that video. I'll have it linked at the end of this one. But we also see more of Pig God's character, like, after the war is over, because he voluntarily, like, goes back to the battlefield, like, while he's recovering, just leaves the hospital, goes back to make sure that Evil Natural Water is, like, taken care of, and then he, takes care of him himself. And then that one A-class hero, Air, comes with him, and is, like, talking crap on Pig God, and then he gets shot in the neck by the Evil Natural Water, and then Pig God selfishly is like, hey, you should take care of that guy first, even though Air was talking crap on him. So, like I said, Pig God is a solid guy. He is a, morally right dude. So going more into the interaction with him and Evil Natural Water. So he eats Evil Natural Water's like heart form, and then as he's digesting him, the Evil Natural Water like shoots his jet streams out of like Pig God's body. So at the time, I was super confused by this, along with everybody else. I was like, how is he surviving this? Well, apparently the info that we got originally in chapter 123 is now giving an explanation for this. He's just able to take this. He can regenerate. Now, it's not exactly explaining, like, his organs getting pierced and stuff like that, but I guess, I don't know, the fat, it's somehow, like, healing his organs as well, too. I don't know, there's more layers to Pig God. No pun intended, but I mean, maybe we'll get more of an explanation as to how he was able to survive this better later on, but I'm sure it just goes into his fat regeneration. Maybe it plays a part internally as well. But also, aside from that, I don't think the story ever really comes back to him, unfortunately. I mean, at least in the webcomic. So, other than that, I just don't know what the future for Pig God is. I mean, we know for sure that it's going to come down to him using his god-killing ability or whatever it is, because that was Chekhov's gun for sure. But aside from that, and us getting his backstory, I just don't know what else could be in store for him. But that's pretty much it. So let me know what you think about Pig God. Where do you think he is headed? What do you think his main overall god-slaying ability is? But if you liked the video, please give it a like. I also have a Patreon, gives you access to a weekly Q&A. And if you haven't already, please subscribe as well. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.